Hey guys, Longren from Frisbee Gaming again. Um, so, I've actually spent quite a bit of time going through this. I've realized I don't like most of the companions, so what I'm going to do for this run is I'm actually going to do a full custom party. In part because I'm going Vampire and Undead. Or sorry, Lich. But yeah, so spent some time and I made a few companions. It's definitely going to be a strong team. I've kind of made everyone fit a specific niche, so this is going to be something I'm going to try like harder difficulties, or play this on harder difficulties. See how good of a team composition I can get out of this. So I will be keeping as many of the companions around as I can for their side quests. But yeah, for the most part, this is going to be a custom party. So once I load in, I'll introduce the team. None of these are builds that I've tested. I pulled one from another YouTuber that I saw a long time ago. Or not a long time ago, like I saw a week ago. That I thought was interesting. Morticimal Games has a guide on a Sensei Monk, which I thought was interesting. But regardless, let's go through everyone. So Sensei is the Sensei Monk. Go through his build a little bit. So he's gonna be 20 levels of Monk Sensei. The concept here is to build a support tank. It's gonna be a lot of defensive feats, along with stuff to a few minor things to improve his or alter his performances. And yeah, so his main goal is literally just to play off tank and buff the party. Moving on to Minirek. Minirek is going to be a Blood Rager primarily. So I went with the 3 levels of Fighter Mutation Warrior, mostly for the feats and the mutagen, because I didn't feel like the last 3 levels of Blood Rager were terribly important. I may reconsider this for the additional 8 damage reduction. I'm okay with passing up this, the Mighty Blood Rage, and then the last 2 levels don't give us like literally anything, because I'm pretty sure I can get this through a Mythic feat anyways, because it's a Bloodline feature, and I think we can pick that up through a Mythic feat. But yeah, Mutagen Discovery. Yeah. May need to take a look at this. But yeah, ideally, I think I'm going to go 17 Blood Ragers, and then, 17 Blood Ragers, 3 Mutation Warrior. This is Nedra. So Nedra is going to be a full-on Slayer Deliverer build. And yeah, she's just going to be a flat-out damage dealer. The idea here is just to make her really good with bow. She's going to do quite a bit of sneak attack damage. She's going to have, get a steady target. Query will just make her even stronger. But yeah, I'm just going to pump all of her abilities into making her really good with a bow. This is where I'm departing from like normal classes in roles. So Rui is going to be a Shaman Witch Doctor, and she's going to be the party healer. The Witch Doctor kind of caught my attention. It's I like the witch hexes, but it also gets the ability to channel energy, and then she also gets spells, which I guess I need to assign those. But yeah, so she's just going to be almost entirely my healer. And then this one, this is Isoru, and he's going to be a control kineticist, I guess is probably the best way to explain it. So I've seen a few builds around here regarding him. I think what I like for him is we're just gonna go with like the trip and the fearing build with this guy. So he's just gonna primarily knock enemies on their butts and make sure they can't run away. And then if he can, he's also gonna get them feared. So that is the team. I'm not dismissing any of the companions. Like I said, I'm going to keep all of them around primarily for their side quests. But I also went and redid my build. So, class. So the major change, well, I should say the only change I really made was rather than taking the Elven Curved Blade proficiency, we're just going to stick with Scythe. I also did change this. I added Cleave. This is a good add, I think, early on. It's probably going to be less useful as we go, but the upside is that this will give us access to Cleaving Finish. So basically get a free cleave every time we kill an enemy, which we're going to be doing a lot of. And then the idea is still to build into the original concept. So, yeah, that's what I've changed, and let's continue on. Oh, you know what, while we're here, let's knock out some of those quests. And as usual, if anyone has any build suggestions or like interesting character ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. This is definitely the part of the game I'm looking forward to the most, is just like playing with all these different builds. What I'm likely going to do is I'm going to go through the first part of the game and then like stop after chapter 1 with all of the mythic path options open, so that I can, use it as a jumping off point instead of having to replay through all this. So,
psst, look, Chief, I got something to show you. Ta-da! A real beaut, isn't it?
So you did betray the Thieflings.
Oh, that cuts me deep, Chief. You and I saw who the traitor was. It's just that when we robbed the shop, I went in first and took what I wanted. Nothing wrong with that. Although, of course, I did think about hiding the moon and just taking myself off somewhere warm when all this blows over. But only because I want to see the world. Is it a crime to want to travel? Huh? Is that what counts for treachery these days?
Did you really have the amulet this whole time?
Since that night, Chief, Melround didn't even set eyes on it. While he was dealing with the golem, I sneaked past them, and that was that.
Remind me, why is this item so important?
Do you really not remember it? Oh, I thought you would appreciate it. It's from the old man Fileman, the owner of the Ancient Trees and Wonders shop. It's the pride of his collection. The Moon of the Abyss, an amulet with a rare crystal crafted by an unknown maker. When I think of how much this thing is worth, it makes my head spin.
You've been searched by guards. How did you manage to hide the amulet?
Thieves have their ways.
Why didn't you give the amulet to Karisme right away?
What? So she would slay me right away, you mean? You saw how antsy she was over Kenabres and all this. So I did it. I took the Moon of the Abyss. But I didn't go to Erebeth. And Big Sister wouldn't hear my explanations. She doesn't have the time. I even thought I'd hide the moon somewhere, and then when all the noise had died down, I'd go get it and make a run for it. I'm sick of the Thieflings. And they never appreciated me anyway.
Why did you steal the Moon of the Abyss? You wouldn't have been able to sell an item so rare anyway.
Why, he asks? It's expensive. Pretty. And it's my amulet, actually. Not meaning I stole it, but I mean, this is my inheritance. My grandma and I were poor. All we had was a jewelry box with the moon in it. She used to store it under the floor in the basement, and she'd take it out sometimes just to look at it. She was always nicer when she had a few drinks in her, so I could ask her things then. One time I asked where she got it from, and she said it was from a demon. You know, the demon who was my grandfather. He said the moon was to be passed down. My mom was good for nothing and nobody, so that's why Grandma decided to keep the amulet for me. She used to say it would be mine when I grew up, but she couldn't wait until I grew up. She squandered my inheritance when she became a drunk. Took it to Fileman's shop and pawned it. He gave her some coppers for it, and she didn't even haggle. Just grabbed them and ran back to the tavern before last orders. I've been going to Fileman's to look at the moon ever since I was a kid. He chased me away, but I just kept going back, so eventually he gave up. He didn't skimp on security. The place was like a fortress, so he wasn't worried about a street rat like me pinching anything. Even when I got more skilled, I couldn't get any closer to it. One day, I had no one to go with. Another day, there were only oafs who'd never stolen anything more than a church donation box. But when Kenabres had planned everything out, I realized I had a chance to get the moon and move away from here. Maybe to Garen. I hear it's warmer there. I've stayed with the family for too long.
Yeah, we're gonna go with this one. You did the right thing by not giving away the amulet. Stealing from thieves isn't even stealing. You have to put yourself first.
Allies, friends, it's all a load of crap. Life brings us together, forces us to make plans, do whatever it is we do, but it's a safe bet that this ain't forever. I might be a traitor, but the others, are they any better than me? Melround had a good reputation in the family. He was trusted, and you see what happened. If you abide by the law, anyone can rob you. So you need to break the law first when no one expects it, and run before you go soft and get too attached. Whatever you think, I owe you. I'm not just a thief. I have my own business selling things. Thanks to you, I'm still in the family, and we have the black market sewn up in this city. It's a good way to sell valuables. So, if you need anything, a scroll or something, just say the word. I have a little portal to our people in Erosian. You put a note there, and you get what you need. I can't get you anything big, but what they do have is all high quality. Nothing's too good for you, Chief. What's mine is yours. For a price, of course.
Okay, so we're gonna check. Show me what you can get using your Thiefling connections. Look, Chief, the Thieflings have all the best things. Okay, so let's see what he has. I remember there's some okay stuff in here. Oh, it must be from farther into the game then. Alright. Gosh, two-handed. Oh. Okay. Ironically. Any good? Oh, nice. Ooh. Do not have enough money for that. Like me enough? Nope. Okay, so I'll have to remember that he's got a decent quarterstaff for him. Talk to Thorn. I met Kalissa. Under what circumstances? I hope he sees the opportunity to kill her. Are you certain of your allegations? I am. Her misdeeds are terrible and proven with absolute certainty. She claims she doesn't serve the demons. Of course she does. In an attempt to buy her life, she would stoop to the boldest and most egregious of lies. Whose words do you trust? Hers or mine? I let her go. Your decision is regrettable. I'm afraid that in doing so, you've condemned her many future victims to death. I suppose it just means that bringing this hunt to a close falls upon my shoulders. I'd like to know more about you. I won't hold anything back. Not who I am, why I'm here, or who it is that I'm pursuing. Remind me, who is the quarry that brought you? Actually, I don't have any more questions. I have to go. Good fortune to you. Okay. What else is going on here? Tell Remian he will address the news. He will surely be lying if he says the news does not come as a relief. Wait for liberation of Kenabres. Okay. State of execution. common cause. Defense to join the Crusaders. Visit Blackwing Library. Nameless Ruins. League of the Inspiring Heart. Days of Strife. It is possible that disturb dreams. Still, it's worth asking the advice of a priest in the defender's heart. Whenever you sleep outside the walls of the defender's heart, I'm plagued by terrible dreams. Can you help me? You look tired, but otherwise entirely healthy. If we were anywhere else, I would simply tell you to get some rest, but we are on the border of the Whirlwind, and I'm all too aware of what's happening to you. As you know, the wound is a rift between Golarion and the Abyss, and all the evil that feeds the Abyss does the opposite in our world. It feeds on Golarion. So it is that even when we cannot see demons near us, our ultimate foe, the Abyss, is always surrounding us. Many soldiers fighting in the Whirlwind experience similar things. They suffer terrible nightmares, get no peace, and sometimes even lose their minds. But we are trying to help you with this affliction. By the will of Abadar, I have consecrated an altar here. The God's grace permeates the space around it, soothing one's soul and quieting thoughts during rest. So if you find your nerves are fraying, seek out a holy place like this, approach it, and all the corruption will be cleansed from you. I have to go. May Abadar aid you. So they're just explaining the corruption mechanic and how to get rid of it. Isn't there something else going on here? Okay, I guess not. Thought there was another quest marker. Let's see if Jordan has anything to buy. No, okay. Oh, they're gonna be a little behind a level. Okay. Oh well. So we're actually gonna level. We're gonna just level my character up. I will go back through and do the companions, but it's gonna take a lot more time than I want to spend on that right now. Where's the build? There it is. Crossblood Sorcerer again. Knowledge Arcana. We're going to take Outflank. Yep, there it is.
I'm gone.
Yeah, we'll come back and level them up. Or I'll do it off screen, I mean. Okay. Any more questions? Nope. So. Tell Ramian that Holrin is dead. Let's go to the Blackwing Library. This won't take long. Be able to sneak past the enemies.
Here comes trouble.
Okay, so a couple things we need to do here. Oh, actually going to turn your rage off. So this we'll be able to, we won't care about when we get our first mythic level, because that's when we're going to use this. Plank. Wandering Spirit. Oops. Fearful Gaze. We're going to go ahead and put this down here. Gather Power Blow. Spends move action, gather power. Mental Blast after the total burn cost of a chosen blast by 1. Okay. Earth Blast, extended range. Okay, so because I went with the Elemental Engine, actually, do I have that yet? Okay. I'm not sure I got what I wanted out of this. Let's stick with that. Full action. Champions be 3. Burn cost drops to 0 before the whole time is spent. They stop counting. We'll do this. We'll put that there. Let's go here. Actually, we'll do it this way. I'm going to go turn-based real quick because I want to... let's kill the spider.
I got this.
Nice.
Attack.
Oh! Kenabres didn't even get a go. Okay. Let's mess with the formation a bit. So she's fine. We're going to put you back here. We're going to put you right behind her. Okay. Like that formation. Oh, you're exhausted already? Why? You've got good you've got okay constitution. That's weird. Oh, it made him rage. That's right.
None shall escape. Stab their backs. Die!
Nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and try it. Oh, I love it. That's great. Kinesis is a really interesting class. It's the only thing that plays the way it does. Kind of reminds me in a lot of ways of the hang cultist of the mystic in D&D that they have left as unearthed arcana. Like it will never be unofficial, or sure phrase. As it currently sits, it won't be an official class. Maybe if they retool it. I don't see that happening, considering they've kind of put the psionic stuff in a bunch of other classes. But yeah, Mystic was an interesting class. It's the only one that worked the way it did. And it made for a really like fun, versatile class that I've always felt like 5th edition kind of lacks. Oh, we took too long. Stalking Knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. The hefty crusader smiles merrily, paying no heed to the blood-curdling shrieks coming from the pyre. The acrid smell of burning flesh. They burn well enough, don't they? Cursed traitors. Rilu's minions. These vermin infiltrated the crusader forces and aided the demons from inside the city. But I caught them. I am Captain Shaleb Sazomol. And these men are my subordinates. Take a closer look at the ruthless crusader. Chaleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong glances at you. You have seen similar behavioral quirks before in the Liars. Examine the crusader's armor and the symbols on it. You notice that the emblems on the armor of the two silent crusaders belong to the Order of the Flaming Lance, but Chaleb's armor bears the sigil of the Order of the Sunray Sword. Strange, then, that he introduced himself as their captain. Something's not right here. So we're going to go with the trickster path. Put out those flames, I order you, in the name of Baphomet. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment. And the words hit their target. The crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. Sir, we didn't know you were one of us. You heard him. Put the flames out. Cuffing his lackeys round the head, Caleb herds them straight toward the fire. All three of them start trying to fight the flames, showing no concern for their own safety. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the crusader and his lackeys when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. Quickly, you worms! If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace at the Gray Garrison. Caleb grunts in wordless terror despite desperately fighting the flames. Every so often, he sends murderous looks at his associates, whom he is clearly condemned to death. You blithering idiot! You cack-handed dimwits! You empty suits of armor! You watch in satisfaction as Caleb and his two lackeys rush to put out the alchemist's fire. Their armor becomes covered in soot, and welts rise on their skin from the flames. Succumbing to another strange oratorical impulse, you chivvy them along with barked orders and florid invective. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man. I'll take the other two into Baphomet's forces. With a wary look in your direction, Caleb abandons his own attempts to quell the flames and turns his focus to thumping and kicking his subordinates to hurry them along. The method proves surprisingly effective, and the flames begin to dwindle. Stop wasting, listen to your gut. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Gray Garrison library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it! There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as those crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure we got another. No, make it another 2 barrels of alchemist fire from the Gray Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its ears heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning gray hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale, papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the face of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. The old elf holds out his hands in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I am Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I'm not mistaken. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people to call me Storyteller. It's very accurate, describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. How come you didn't burn in the fire? To tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat. It was so strong. I waited for the pain, the burning. But I was unscathed. But the smoke nearly did finish me off. It may be some form of magical protection against fire, but I don't know by what means I have acquired it. Just another oddity from my collection of the inexplicable. Gloom steals across the Storyteller's pensive face. I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again. And, if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. Nope.
Let us be careful.
A few more things we want to grab over here.
There's something unusual. I sense something.
Huh.
I'll get it next time.
Failed. Staff of Coercion. Nice. Was this the Alchemist Fire? Yep.
Tread lightly.
I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. So looking back, what I should have done was go to the Patex, whatever that was, the other location. But anyways, I guess since we have to pass through the Market Square again, we're gonna try and find Ramian. Because he's important to getting Arushale at an earlier level than normal. Throws against the spell. Armor. Just 2 on concentration checks. Oop. No one can really use that. I'll probably end up giving it to
I'm gone.
the Slayer character, just because it'll work best with her high dex. I'll stick with this party. Oh, I forgot to finish up. What's your name? Spellbook. Yeah, that'll work. Let's have... Start the turn. Okay. Tax wine cellar. Alright, so we're gonna go to the Market Square and we're gonna find Ramian.
Time to practice my combat abilities.
your corpse.
Marauders. Okay. 1 of 6. Oh, okay, so it does build the burn. Let's get the bard. Jeez.
I'll just have to resort to brute force. Aim carefully.
Time to finish. Okay. The number of bodies is just disturbing. Just so many. That would have to have an effect on your mental state, seeing that many people dead in one place. And then just be constantly fighting in those spaces, like, man. Okay, so. Well, seeing as how he's a Desnan, he should be here, right? Didn't we look here already? I feel like we looked there already. This is one thing I miss about, I think Kingmaker had a time speed up thing where you could make time move faster? Or am I just imagining things? There he is! Golden-haired Asamar greets you with a graceful bow. So, you found me. I have nowhere else to run. I am at your mercy. Kill me if you wish, but I must ask you to hear me out first. Holrun is dead. The Asamar brings his hands together in a brief prayer. I am sorry for this. Really, I am truly sorry. Holrun did not understand what he was doing, and he did so much harm. But he sincerely believed that he was fighting for the good of the city and the entire Crusade movement. In another position, he could have done so much good. What other tidings do you bring? I don't want to believe that Kenabres has fallen, that everyone is dead and there is no one left to fight. Please tell me, are there pockets of resistance still left in the city? Where can I be of some use? Irbith Tirabate of the Eagle Watch is gathering survivors in the Defender's Heart Tavern. You would be useful there. Commander Tirabate, I do not know her personally, but her wife Anivia is a regular worshipper at our temple. I would be glad to aid them in this fight. Did you really not know about the demon attack before it happened? I did. We have a secret ally in the enemy's ranks. No one knows who this brave soul is, but she has been feeding us information about the demon's plans. These dispatches have come to us by the most reliable channel bestowed upon us by the great dreamer herself. He's talking about Desna there. They've come to us in dreams. Prelate Holrun brushed them off as meaningless revelries. And, well, I admit that it wasn't always easy to distinguish our allies' messages from ordinary dreams. But even ordinary dreams are gifts from Desna, and are always worthy of attention. The prelate, and all the Crusade leaders for that matter, should have put less store in reason and more in intuition, inspiration, and spontaneity. What's more, not long before the attack on the city, a blind elf who calls himself the Storyteller arrived in Kenabres. This wanderer wasn't merely a collector of legends, but a scholar of the unknown. According to him, the wardstone in our city, the first and most important in the chain of wardstones, weakened since long ago, was teetering on the brink of corruption. It seems that the Red Morning Massacre and other demon attacks, even the ones we fended off, did not leave us unscathed. Unfortunately, the prelate did not wish to listen to the Storyteller either. We're lucky he wasn't burnt at the stake as a heretic. We had such vital information on our hands, information that could have saved the city, but no one cared to listen all the way to the catastrophic end. Not all dreams have benign origins. What if those dreams are sent by demons? In a different time and place, someone perhaps could have been the victim of false dreams sent by monsters. But here, in the War in the Abyss, the goddess is keeping a close eye on her most faithful followers. I have no doubt that if a demon tried to intrude upon the dreams of any one of us, Desna's punishment would be swift. Tell me about the strange rituals that were going to be performed on the Wardstone. Ramian looks slightly abashed. When my attempts to open Holron's eyes ended in failure, a few of my young adepts resolved to take matters in their own hands. They did not consult me before doing so, but I have never demanded iron discipline from my priests. Army commanders may have subordinates, but I have pupils and fellow worshippers. I can only inspire them. I cannot command them. And it seems that they were all inspired all on their own. They had no ill intent. They only wished to access the Wardstone in secret and try to cleanse it. But to Holron, this became perform a suspect ritual after hearing even more suspect voices in their dreams. The children wanted to save their city, but the Inquisitors detained them and almost killed them. I had to intervene. I used my authority and my power as a cleric to give them a chance to flee. If they hadn't gotten away, they were destined for a cell in the Prelate's dungeons, and quite likely death. I have to go. Wait! 3 of my adepts are hiding somewhere in the ruins of the city. The ones the Inquisitors wrongly accused of treason. I beg you, find them and protect them against the demons. The vigilantes like Holron. They will not rest until they find them. Thank you for listening to me and defending me. I will now go to the Defender's Heart. I hope to see you there. May Desna keep you safe. Stranger, wait! You spared Ramian despite what that mad Inquisitor told you. The young voice comes from nowhere. Oh, hang on. I forgot to remove the spell. I hope Holron's dogs aren't looking nearby. A pale youth materializes before you. His face looks haggard from lack of sleep, but he's clearly pleased to be speaking to someone. So you're one of the Desnan adepts that tried to break into the Wardstone? Yes, I'm Ilkis, the cleric of Desna, and one of the people who answered the call of the voices in dreams. Some unknown person made contact with us through our dreams, telling us about the demons' plans. We learned that the demons were planning to attack Kenabres and do something terrible to our Wardstone, which already carries the taint of corruption. Prelate Holron refused to heed our warnings. We had to make a choice. We could either throw up our hands and pull back, or take action, even though it would cost us our lives. But what heartless person could stand by in the face of such a deadly threat? What were you planning to do to the Wardstone? The young man hesitates. Our plan was to get it and then follow our instincts. There were 3 of us, a cleric, a mage, and a bard. Between us, we know a lot. We're capable of a great deal. If we'd had enough time, I'm sure we could have figured out what's wrong with the Wardstone and how to heal it. But they didn't give us time. How did you even come up with such a plan? How could we not come up with that plan? You sense the young man's temper rising. Listen, Desna is the goddess of luck, but luck, as many lay people would understand it, and luck as we, the followers of the music of the spheres, see it, are far from the same thing. Other people believe that luck is something good that falls into your lap just because, like a generous but unearned reward. We see luck as a fundamental law of creation, according to which, even in the darkest hour of the most hopeless situation, a chance of rescue and change for the better can arise. But you've got to seize this chance when it presents itself, or better yet, create your own. Followers of Desna are not people who like idleness and inaction. That's why when Kenabres was in trouble, we did it as our goddess had taught us. We took the matter into our own hands and tried in a moment of desperation to pluck our chance from the hands of fate itself. How could a zealot like Holron become the respected defender of Kenabres? His faith is strong, incredibly strong. The people of the city have seen him fighting in the front lines time after time. I myself remember feeling dumbstruck the first time I saw that gruff old man slaying demons in a fit of righteous fury. The people living on the edge of the abyss need protection more than anything else, and that's why they are prepared to forgive their protector almost anything, even prejudice, paranoia, and the death of innocence. Also, Holron hasn't been as brutal as he used to be for a long time. He has his loyal right-hand man, Leotor, known as the Hawkblade. He's a Winchester too, but a good deal more rational and even-tempered. Holron trusts him completely, and Leotor always conducts a thorough investigation before dragging a victim to the fire. It's our bad luck that Leotor left Kenabres in pursuit of some particularly vicious hags 2 weeks before the attack. If he were here, he wouldn't have let Holron attack Ramian. On the other hand, if he were here, we wouldn't have escaped after trying to get to the Wardstone. We'd all be in a cell right now. Whose voice have you been hearing in your dreams? Nobody knows what it is, but everyone who has heard her, is convinced that she is a good and pure soul chosen by Desna. We had a choice. We could trust her, except that we have an ally somewhere who isn't afraid of all the armies of the abyss, or we could drown in suspicions and get one step closer to becoming just like Holron. We decided to trust the voice. And seeing Kenabres devastated, which is what our unknown ally tried to prevent until the very end, I can see now who had the truth on their side. Where are you fellow worshippers, and how many of them are there? Fortunately, or unfortunately, I don't know where they are. We split up to confuse the Inquisitors who were chasing us. Do you need help? Desna teaches us to trust in last-ditch chances. Listen, my friends are called Aranka and Thal. Thal the Wallflower. Aranka is an amazing singer and a truly beautiful girl. She has plenty of friends and fans. She's probably blended into a crowd somewhere. Wallflower is a mage, but I don't think he'll risk using magic. It will only bring the Inquisitors down on him. He'll be harder to find. You better find Aranka first. She might know where Wallflower is. Please find them and protect them against the demons and the Inquisitors. I will await news in the Goddess's Temple. I hope our mysterious helper will send us a message that will reveal what is to come from the demons. I have to go. Go. May Desna be with you, stranger.
Let's head out.
Okay. So, we're going to do a couple things here. So first things first, we're going to go to the Patax wine cellar. No, wait, sorry. Lost bag, that's on them. Okay, we're going to go to the Pataxian wine cellar.
I require rest.
I feel like the chosen one.
Stay on your toes. Let's move already.
I'm losing my temper.
We're gonna rest after this fight.
Nice. Your enemy Kenabres is undead. Your party has the character Rui, who has the ability to channel positive energy, which is very effective against the undead if you use it to damage them. Negative energy heals the undead. Why am I reading this? You can't go that way.
You're
Yep,
dead.
let's go ahead and try and finish it. Oh man.
Damn you!
Let's hear you cry.
Okay.
So it comes to
Nice.
this. You've made your choice.
Oh, there's more.
Cover me. Stab their backs.
Oh, he's the stronger one. No.
Are you still here?
Okay. Yeah, shoot
Run
him.
them through.
Nice. He's slowed, which means gets fewer attacks off. Let's go ahead and hit him. Oh, we missed! Oh no! Let's gather power.
Forwards.
Move up.
I'll loot your corpse.
Phew. You were scaring me.
Always win.
Out of my way.
Nice. Let's try and get the white. Nope, missed him too. Crap.
A son of black.
One down.
I'll just have to resort to brute force.
Let's see if we can finish him. Oh. Am I? I am not fighting defensively. That might help.
Your death awaits.
Oh, there she goes. Nice. Okay.
Let us be careful.
So one thing I actually usually like to do with a character is make a, usually have at least one person with an animal companion, because animal companions are particularly strong in this game. But none of that really fit with what I was looking to do. I may look at making an archer who is a hunter instead, but that's a big maybe. Oh, it's a double-bladed. Or it's an orc double axe. Ooh, full plate. What is my AC now? Cool. And what is his? Why is mine so much higher? Is it because of my shield? Full plate shield. Yep. Cool. Battle axe. Nope. Just in case. She can't wear it. Really? Oh, it's heavy armor. Huh. So used to half plate being the top tier medium armor from 5th edition. Throws me off every time. Okay. So we did that. What was the other thing we needed to do? Ah, yes. So the bard we're looking for is at the Arende house party. Couldn't sneak past the enemies.
Cut them to pieces!
Oh. Did we get surprised? We got surprised. That's interesting. Okay. I want to kill him.
Attack!
So we didn't get a turn. Cool. Can't charge any of them.
I got this.
That's weird. What was impeding?
So it comes to this.
Let's go ahead and delay. I'm gonna put you there.
Die!
Oh, we missed. Oh. There we go. Which now lets her get off her attack. Cool.
Aim carefully.
Damn
Okay.
you!
There we go. I'm still playing on normal, by the way, so I will be increasing the difficulty once I have not crap gear. And I'm going to slowly ramp it up. I'm not going to jump right up to the higher tiers of difficulty. Just because that's not how I enjoy playing games. I like to be challenged, but I don't like to... I like it to be a moderate challenge, not a crazy challenge. So.
I feel tired.
Yep.
Got this one.
Intricate patterns on the harp depict the stars, the moon, butterflies, the hallmarks of the goddess of Desna. Oh! I wonder if that means... Thank you, stranger. The girl does not look the least bit scared. Her cheeks are flushed and her blue eyes are glittering. For saving us from the demons and for your timely entrance. I swear, I do not know who has enraged me more today. The demons or the oh-so-affable master of this house. I'm a friend of Ilkis's. He asked me to find and protect you. The Owen clasps her hands together. Ilkis is alive, and he's made a brilliant new friend. It's a shame it had to happen now when the city is under siege by the demons. And those pig-headed inquisitors are pursuing us instead of doing something useful. How did you end up here? Holrun's hounds found me and Wallflower, and they tried to capture us. I distracted them, then I lost them in the streets before charming my way into this party. Even if the Inquisitors saw where I went, they wouldn't be allowed past the door. Holrun holds no sway among certain members of the aristocracy. So I picked a good place to lie low. That is until the demons showed up. Do you know where the third of your group is? Wallflower? No idea. If he knows about the demon attack, he won't just hide away. He'll go out and try to help people. If he doesn't know, well, you have no chance of finding him. He's a pretty skilled mage, but I doubt he'll risk using magic. He's probably doing something the Inquisitors won't expect. Pose as someone, disguise himself. We had a great selection of masquerade costumes in the temple. The girl becomes lost in thought for a moment. I know. I'll tie my shawl around your arm. Wallflower gave it to me. He'll spot it right away and know you're a friend. If I were you, I'd look for him in the Kenabres Market Square. Why did you decide to break into the Wardstone and cast magic on it? You put your lives at risk. Your information could have been a trap set by the demons. But it wasn't a demon trap, Araka says forcefully. Then her voice softens and her expression turns pensive. You know, living next to the World Wound and seeing the powerlessness of the Crusaders, it's very hard. We've been trying to defeat the demons for 100 years now, and we have nothing to show for it. I think that Queen Galfrey and the other leaders think that we can defeat evil if we line up our soldiers in perfect columns and send them marching off with a stirring battle cry. We just need a few more soldiers, a little more discipline. We've been marching for 100 years, and it's always one step forward, two steps back. And while the soldiers are marching, people like Holrun are seizing power behind their backs. His fanaticism and cruelty were forged in the same furnace as the Crusaders' righteousness. We will never defeat the demons if we keep trying to march down this same path. We need to change tack. To challenge our principles, trust our hearts and our friends, and not moldering doctrines. We need to listen to an entity that is willing to help us. My friends and I listened, and we trusted, and we tried to change something. At least we tried, even though it didn't work out. I killed Holrun. He won't ever threaten you again. It's a shame it ended up this way for him. Hopefully, his successor will keep the Inquisitors in check. Can you go somewhere safe on your own? It looks like the Inquisitors aren't busting in the door just yet, and they're not hiding in the bed, so I think I'm safe for now. I'll be fine on my own. I'll go to our temple, to Ilkis. The Inquisitors must have searched there by now. They won't go back a second time. I have to go. Good luck. May Desna be with you, stranger. Great. So... Oh, I missed that. So we're going to go back to the market square. We're going to find Wallflower. And then that should complete all of the quests I can think of in Kenabres. And then we'll set up for attacking the Gray Garrison. Let's see, he's over The eyes of a young lad peer at you from under the massive helmet. At this proximity, it is obvious that his armor is ill-fitting and mismatched, and the helmet specifically is either very poorly made or a theater prop. Pardon me, I saw you with that shawl. Does that mean you're a friend of Veronika's? What am I saying? Of course it does. So... The young man's speech is interrupted by the arrival of a new cast of characters. People in the robes of Iomeda's inquisitors appear from all sides, surrounding him. Adept Thal of the Temple of Desna, you are under arrest on suspicion of treason and aiding the demons. You have 1 minute to come quietly. Drag your feet and we'll count that as an attempt to resist justice. The youth's eyes go wide and he says nothing, clearly not knowing what to do. Demons are running amok all over Kenabres, and now is not the time for settling scores. On the contrary, now is the perfect time to catch the demons' accomplices while they're overconfident and letting their masks slip. Your paranoia has poisoned your minds. I've had enough of this. We are following orders and acting for the good of the city. The troublemaker must be arrested.
First come, first served.
Ooh.
Out of my way!
Yeah, we'll get one that hasn't moved yet. See if we can kill him before he gets
Stab their
turned.
backs.
Nope, of course not. Ooh, no.
Let's hear you
A little
cry.
premature. Yep.
Forwards!
Are you still here?
Ugh.
You've made your choice.
That's not good. Ooh. Come on.
I'll loot your corpse.
This is definitely going to be the downside to this. How am I dead? Heal living. No! This did not work out the way it was supposed to. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Oh man.
Getting my ass kicked.
Oh jeez. Inspire, nope. Courage.
Learn from my mistake.
Oh, what?
Let's hear you.
There we go.
Your death awaits.
Come on. Oh, have we not rested? Let's see if I can get him.
I'm gonna try this again.
No fear!
Okay. Oh, come on! I have like a... What is that, a 40%? It's more than 40. No, yeah, it's about... I have a 40% chance of hitting.
Run them through.
Oh my god. So not only can none of my guys hit, but he's... Oh, okay. I got a crit. I'll stop complaining. Oh, you've got to be freaking kidding me.
Stab their backs.
There we go. Okay, let's stop playing around. Oh, no, it's gonna hurt him. Can I do this in a way that doesn't hurt my party members? There we go. Oh, 5 damage.
This is unexpected.
You've got to be kidding me. There we go. The young man glances at the bodies and the Inquisitors, then turns around. Oh, Desna, why, in doing what is right, must we so often be forced to spill the blood where it is not necessary? Can this really be the price of the true path and of freedom? Anyway, thank you. I'd have been done for without you. A clash with the Inquisition was bound to happen sooner or later. Maybe, but if it wasn't for our stunt with the Wardstone, which we didn't even save. Anyway, I only have myself to blame. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to the Temple of Desna. I want to be alone with the goddess and reflect on all that has happened. Okay, so we're going to come to the Temple of Desna. We're going to wrap that up. I guess it doesn't help that we're all fatigued, which lowers scores, so that's probably a big contributor. There's got to be a way to make this heal. Channel positive energy. There's gotta be a way to make it channel negative energy. I'll have to take a look at that. I mean, she can still serve the function of healer with the inflict wounds. Man, totally changes. Ilkaz and Runkenthal sit side by side like sparrows on a tree branch. They seem happy, despite the chaos going on around them. If it isn't our rescuer, it's good that you've come to sit with us. Or it's good that you've come. Sit with us. I'm pleased to see you're all fine, but there's still much work to be done in the city. That's true, Ilkaz nods. But can we give you a gift before you go? We wouldn't give this to anyone apart from the person who bravely defended us from injustice. The injustice inflicted by the people who should be the pillars of law and order in our city. Our gift, Arunca cuts in, is a song. We call it Steward Gaze, and it came to us from the true servants of Desna from her domain in Elysium. This song can gift a soul with renewed vitality. Just listen. Sing the song after Arunca. When the music stops, Zalelch finds himself in a place that looks nothing like the ruins of Kenabres. It all happens in the space of a blink, and he closes his eyes on one world and reopens them on another one entirely. A delicate twilight envelops this new world, with streaks of moonlight breaking through the gloom. Zalelch is standing in a shallow stream of murmuring water, deep in a forest. There was no one else around. Garlands of unfamiliar climbing plants twine around the trunks of gigantic trees, and dangling from their branches are vines woven into what look like remarkably like swings. A carpet of fragrant grasses spreads out at the tree's roots, with small islands of phosphorescent moss and lichen dotted here and there. Small, smooth stones with a strange, mirrored surface are scattered across the stream bed in which Zalelch is standing. The stones catch the light shining down from the heavens, making them gleam silver, and making the ordinary little brook look like a stream of darkness, carrying a sprinkling of stars through the night. Zalelch is sure that he has never been to this place before, and yet it all feels so familiar. It is the manifestation, not of dreams or fantasies, but of that special way of looking at the world that only children possess. When a glint of light reflected off of a piece of glass becomes a fallen star, when an oddly shaped stone can become a remarkable artifact, and when every shadow or twist in a path promises mystery or an incredible adventure. A single glance into the forest stream brings this feeling rushing back. Realizing this, Zalelch unhurriedly makes his way along the stream bed, taking in his surroundings. The whimsically twisting stream runs through the silent forest, and Zalelch unhurriedly strolls along. This place evokes a strange feeling of not calm. No, in fact, quite the opposite. A feeling of restlessness and anticipation of incredible discoveries or unexpected encounters. Or, then again, perhaps it's not the place at all. But the eternal hunger, the craving for new experiences, there dwells within many mortal hearts. Speculation aside, just as Zalelch rounds the next bend, an unexpected encounter does indeed take place. They come closer, not attempting to hide, stepping lightly on the mossy carpet, leaping from branch to branch, or flitting through the air. The creatures are thoroughly bizarre, as they were deliberately conceived to try the sanity of every taxonomist on the planet. One has the fluttering wings of a butterfly on its back, another has the tails of a dozen different animals, while a third boasts tresses of streaming water, hooves instead of feet, and springy clover growing all over its skin. "We have a visitor," exclaims one of the strange creatures, and immediately runs along the stream, sending up moonlit splashes with every step. "Where am I?" Don't you know where you are?" asked the creature in amazement. "There are plains of breathtaking beauty and plains of astonishing wonder, but only Elysium is woven from the craving for beauty, from the belief in wonders. That is where you are, in the most peaceful, most wonderful corner on the plain of boundless freedom. Who are you?" "Don't you know where you... We are Azadas, the children of freedom," says one of the creatures, carelessly swinging from the branches of a tree. "This forest is our home for today. Tomorrow, our home could be a lake 100 leagues to the south, or an underground cave in the Azure Ocean, or a castle of clouds that scatters in the dawn breeze. How did I get here?" "We don't know how you came to be here," says the creature with the dozen tails, smiling. "Mortals rarely come to Elysium during their lifetime. But here you are, which means that something must have brought you, something in your soul. If your soul did not harbor even the slightest spark of freedom, yearning and compassion, you would never have found your way here. Now that you know the answers, tell us, what do you want?" "I have to go back. They need me. I wish I could stay here forever." The creature with the butterfly wings, who has hitherto remained silent, gives the visitors a serious look and nods to himself. "I smell the burning blood and tears of the place you have come from. It clings to you. Your soul yearns for beauty and freedom. That is good. But the soul meant for Elysium would never turn their back on suffering and strife. You must return to where you came from. For now, at least. But would you like to take something from this place as a memento?" The question hangs in the air, and though the words Zalelch utters next are merely words, not a spell nor a military command, they seem to have equal bearing on destiny and life. "Yes, I really want to." The Azadas draw closer. "Take this memory with you. Take this light. Take the knowledge that any pebble struck by a moonbeam can be equal to any star. Take the understanding that you cannot fight evil with clever plans until you have conquered evil within your soul. And your soul cannot be cleansed of evil if it is not free. Take our song. Remember it, and it may help you, but only when you are true to that which brought you beneath this sky." All three adepts look at you wide-eyed. What just happened? For a second you were surrounded by light, and we heard music, like the music of Elysium itself. I had a vision. I was in Elysium, and the Azada spoke to me. The adepts exchanged looks of astonishment. "I swear, it's a sign that Desna herself has turned her gaze on you. You helped us and protected Wallflower from the Inquisitors, even though it wasn't your responsibility. The goddess couldn't fail to acknowledge such a noble soul. We might be getting ahead of ourselves here. There are many powerful entities in Elysium, besides Desna. But, of course, there must be a reason for it. I am so glad we met you, friend. And not just because I'd be being tortured by the Inquisitors right now if we hadn't, but also because you helped me overcome my doubts. We will always remember you, no matter what." Okay. Alright, so I've made sure that I can choose any of the mythic paths that I want. Got one last thing to do. Hopefully we can get back there without any incidents. It figures. Also, it's a good thing I didn't increase the difficulty. Otherwise, I probably would have died in that last fight.
I'll
Ooh.
loot your corpse.
You need to die.
Out of my way!
So it comes to this.
I feel faint.
Nice. Hey, I don't need to see that. Okay. Can I continue? Perfect.
Follow my steps.
Okay, so we're gonna want to sell all the junk. Show me what you have. Okay, so we're gonna sell junk. Wait. No one can wear that. Ray of enfeeblement, scare, ray of exhaustion, fear, and waves of fatigue. Additional point of damage per die rolled. Party total consume against ranged attacks for 1 minute. Pretty sure these are just the weapons I've sold them. Yep. Okay. Let's see if anyone can wear. Oh, you know what? All the companions, I should probably equip them, shouldn't I? I'll just give you the short bow. See them. Where's the cat to? Perception more. Perception no more. What's this? Remove disease. This card is token +5 circumstance bonus. Checks for 1 hour. We're going to go ahead and put that on him. Because he's going to be making persuasion checks a lot. We're going to come over here. We're going to rest.
Let's head out.
Hand on
2
heart,
days.
The first time I saw you face to face, I thought you were like all the other snobs who won't even spare 2 words for people lower than them. But you're all right.
Of course I mix freely with the lower classes. It is the simplest way to enrage the stuffy gatekeepers of high society.
Another 2 day. Jeez, why does resting take so long? Okay. Let's go talk to Storyteller. Blind Elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my savior? I recognized your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. Erebeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Kenabres that the local wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I've examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Kenabres did I sense a flaw. A spot of corruption inside. A vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it would be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Who are you, and why did they let you examine the wardstone? The elf smiles faintly. I am Storyteller. Just an old elf. And a bit more. I am old, even for an elf. I've seen many things, and have been to many places. Not so long ago, I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. That is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of other squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I had a few friends in Nerosian who vouched for my integrity. This is why my humble request to be allowed to see the wardstones was granted. I visited all of them, but only found cause for alarm in Kenabres. Do you wield some special magical power? Some instinct? Storyteller chuckles. Jeez, I cannot talk. Yes, to a certain extent, but it is more of a gift. I can see the past. Stories that have happened. I touch an object, and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. The emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happen to me. This is my power. I've been roaming the world, gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day, I will gather them all. What blight is concealed in the wardstone? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the wardstone was created. And it is hidden from me. I can only guess. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? A dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Monago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers, and started to do what demons do best, kill and desecrate. They covered the wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Iomade herself? The locals think this is impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Baylor Karamzada. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Daskari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Kenabres. And when the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. And now, in its demon form, or demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone. And from it, to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the whirlwind. Why did you travel to the wardstones? I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. I've heard you, Storyteller. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the wardstone. As far as I know, there's nothing like it in Kenabres. But the demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Tarendalev, the silver dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt an unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you go to where Tarendalev perished and search there for something. I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but my intuition and a strange sense of rightness tell me to point you there. Present the purple stone knife. I found it in the square where Tarendalev perished. What do you make of it? The storyteller reaches out and says softly, even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it, using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions, and shreds of their memories. Maybe it'll help us better understand what we were dealing with. The storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. Hunger. My legs bring me into the lair to my mother's feasting hall. Her swollen body, overfilled with food, is so huge that I have to look at it with all of my eyes at once. On top is her scrawny little head, with a long beak that is always yearning for more food. You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions that repeat the words of the old elf. Mother greets me with a placid screech. Stupid, greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It's your fault I have no wings, a symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn, and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark, buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters. The bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off with the shreds of meat. Victory. I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste. His voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Did this knife belong to a demon? The storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clutch the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly. Corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless. But it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. Light. White light everywhere. The stone knife falls from the old elf's hands. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling, the terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner. What? What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen. Or rather, might happen. One of the roads to the future. In one of the possible futures, this item will help you cleanse the wardstone. Or to destroy it. You feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that is opened up in it. It's hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment your self-preservation instincts take over, and you manage to keep control of your own hands. The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me, but how? I am not an oracle or a prophet. Or is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen? I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us. Something we don't yet understand. Can you see the future? I don't know. Obviously I can, but nothing like this has happened to me before. The future never opened its secrets to me before I met you. Gods, who are you, and why have our paths crossed? I feel this is not a coincidence. Something momentous is happening. Destiny is pushing us toward something, but what? Questions without answers. I swear, this morning I couldn't have imagined what awaited me. Maybe it's the knife that gives you the power of divination? This knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel its power is of a different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but manifested in a completely abnormal way. Is what you saw destined to happen? No, the future is not set. It used to be, a long time ago when the god Erodin guarded Galarian, but not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, but not the way they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it, but the choice has not been made, and our destinies are not set in stone. Who were you in the vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done. Your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you, but the thing that just happened to me, it disturbs me. My gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed, and these changes frighten me. Please examine the items I'm carrying. Perhaps some of them can tell us a story. Let me touch them, and I will tell you what I can see. So he touches Radiance. Powerful forces lie dormant in this sword. It used to belong to an incredibly bright and daring soul. The storyteller's hand runs carefully over the scale that has not lost its shine. Proud Tarantula, protector of Kenabres. You devoted your life to serving people. Your death is a great loss, but maybe I will be able to find something out about you that is unknown to your many admirers. The storyteller's hand touches Finian. What a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Grandpa Elf, watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles. The storyteller fills with a fragment of a gold buckle. An old thing, created long ago by divine will, but the power that gave birth to it is lost in the darkness. However, this relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know? Bring me 5 vials of magical essence, and I will revive this object, and with it, its story. Okay, so I'll go over these later. We have more important things to do, and then I have to go. I'm actually going to end it here, because I'm actually falling asleep while we do this. So, thanks for joining me, as usual. If you enjoyed this episode, like. If you've got something to say, comment. Helps the video. Again, I am always interested in builds and suggestions on what to do with either characters or whatnot. And the next time we come back, I will have leveled up all of the story companions, and I will have taken a look at my quote-unquote healer and seeing what I can do about making her channel negative energy. But anyways, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time. Have a nice night.